Yo, what's up, guys? It's ya boy James, and I am with my main man Sean. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Second episode, let's get this.
Episode 2, Night 2, Wrestlemania 39 review. This is No Holds Barred. The Pro Wrestling Malta. Pro Wrestling Malta? Yeah, we are part of Pro Wrestling Malta, but we're talking about No Holds Barred, the Pro Wrestling podcast made for you, the pro wrestling fans. And let's get straight into it. Night 2, match 1, Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Thoughts on the match?
It happened. I mean, it was a short match.
It happened. Just that
happened.
it. Just that it. Just okay. So the review for that match was there was a match.
Almost, it was built on their height and their strength. It wasn't built on anything else.
Mm-hmm.
The tail of the tape comes in, very UFC-like, so they really want to highlight that Omos towers over Brock Lesnar. I think the whole story was, how can Brock Lesnar lift Omos?
Pretty much.
And then he did, F5, he won the match.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why they did it the way they did, why it was like very simple and stuff, because you need to leave the complicated matches, the reverses, the kicking out of finishers for the later matches. So, for example, the IC title match, everyone was kicking out of everything, kicking out of your finish, kicking out of his finish, So, if for example, Omos was kicking out of the F5 and Brock had to do like 3 F5s for him, that would have diminished what the 3 guys in the IC title match were gonna do. So, I understand why they put it first. Also, it's Brock Lesnar. He wants to do the minimum amount of stuff possible. And again, you get it. He's achieved everything at this point, and there's no really need. There wasn't a need for it to be anything other than what it was. I feel it was meant to build almost up as this huge, just giant, which he is. I think Brock Lesnar did a really, really, really good job of putting him over throughout the entire feud, going for him, then backing off, and legitimately looking scared. And I think that's like Brock Lesnar is such a good worker in general. He's just so real in everything that he does. So if he's scared, he just is legitimately scared, And yeah, just a couple of German suplexes. Yeah, the F5, that was what the crowd wanted to see. That was what they built for.
The crowd screamed for it. Second they lifted him up, the crowd went wild.
They basically wanted to do an Andre versus Hogan moment, and while it wasn't as big and monumental, it was what it was. It was a good moment. I think it was a good way to start the show. Moving on to there was the
Fatal 4-way.
The Fatal 4-way.
Liv Raquel, the winners Ronda Baszler, your favorites. And who was Deville and Chelsea Green? Chelsea Green's a really good character, by the way.
Even Sonya. I was happy that they at least got a spot on the show, because I think that both of them, especially Sonya, I think that she deserves a bit better than I mean, she just really fulfills her role really well, and she definitely deserved her spot in that match.
Natalia Shotzi were also in that match.
Natalia, I mean, bro. Natalia, I can't get myself to like any of Natalia's matches.
I get it.
I mean, she's okay. She's an experienced wrestler. Even throughout her family lineage, she's been brought up the right way. She's a good veteran in the locker room to help out the guys there, to help out set their matches. But just her own, I'm just not a fan of her work, honestly. No. Mad respect, obviously. Just not a big fan of her work. Shotzi, meh.
Shotzi's got a really cool look.
She's got a cool look. I don't know. I'm just not convinced.
Was there any story leading up to the fatal 4-way tag match?
Nah, it was like the male. It was just a showcase match basically.
Alright.
Like literally, do you want to be on the card? Okay, let's fight, and who wins will get a WrestleMania payday. That was the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty much.
I can tell you the finish of it just to make you happier.
Uh-huh.
So I believe Ronda tagged. Shotzi was on the floor. Ronda tagged in God knows who, and just on an already floored dead Shotzi just hit her with. She just applied the armbar, and then Shotzi tapped out in like a half a minute. And Shayna Baszler was also in the ring, it's looking intimidating.
Yeah.
And then the match ended.
I mean, yeah. Let's just move on, guys.
Yeah, next.
Nah.
We've got the match of the night coming up.
We've got the IC title match coming up, guys. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew. High expectations, in my opinion. Going into it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be the greatest wrestling match of all time. And it was just a hard-hitting match, this is how you brawl in wrestling. This is how you bring that aggression, how you bring that like real toughness, into it. And I think they did a really good job on it. What do you think about the match?
I think that's one of the matches you show to a lapsed fan that hasn't watched wrestling in a while. You show them that, tell them that's just like the wrestling you claim you grew up with. It's hard-hitting. Everyone was involved in some way. Everyone looked good coming out of that match. Everyone did their job perfectly. The strikes were crazy. Everyone kicked out of each other's finisher at some point as well. Now Sheamus and Drew kicked out of a Claymore and a Brogue.
And also the way Gunther, throughout his stint so far in WWE, has protected moves like the powerbomb, for example. Like he's won matches with the powerbomb. He's won matches with multiple different moves, and they kicked out of pretty much most of these moves. And just the fact that he protected all of these moves throughout his time made this match, because they could kick out of the powerbomb, they could kick out of all these other moves, which would be pretty basic by today's standards.
Yeah.
But again, what we mentioned on the other episode with Night 1, you can make a headlock look devastating if done right. And Gunther is just so good, man. His the level of psychology, the aggression, just everything. He is just elite, man. So good.
9 out of 10 match. 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 is because of the sponsorship. Drew McIntyre coming out with a sword that can kill someone, it literally kills someone, and then he has energy drink nameplate.
Yeah.
Why?
It kind of takes you out of it, doesn't it?
Why? I thought Sheamus would win, to be fair. I thought Sheamus was gonna pin Drew and win his first Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I had that same exact thought going into it, to be honest, but I'm still pretty happy with Gunther because, again, he's just really good. And I really hope that they start pushing Imperium this year. Kaiser and Vinci, especially Kaiser with his promos, he is so good. Vinci, he's got the body of a freaking Greek god, and both of them are just really good in the ring, and like they should be going after Sami and Kevin now. So it should be very interesting.
Looking in hindsight, knowing the main event results, it makes sense to keep Gunther champion. Because if Gunther is not champion, what's Gunther gonna do? He can't feud with Roman, because then he'll probably lose to Roman again, and that's 2 losses in a row for Gunther, which I don't think Gunther should take 2 losses in a row right now.
I think there's a lot more to do with the IC title anyway. Like there's endless stuff that you can do. They have so much talent there that they can really like stretch it. And
has Gable wrestled for the Intercontinental Championship yet against Gunther?
I don't think so, but
do it.
That would be an insane match.
It.
And Gable definitely deserves that showcase. So that would be good. The problem is Gable's on Raw, the IC title is on SmackDown, but the draft is coming soon. So who knows? Next up was the Raw Women's Championship match. So there was Bianca Belair against Asuka. I was so underwhelmed with the build-up for this match.
Yeah, both women's championship matches suffered from a lack of build-up. Nothing was built. Asuka just came in crazy, looked at Bianca Belair at some point. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean...
And the match was set.
It was pretty much it. Just Asuka comes in, crazy look. She got something in her mouth. She's gonna spit and title match. I mean, she qualified to get the title match. I'm a big fan of Asuka's new look. Big fan of Asuka's new theme song, which I think is a banger. Big fan of both of the wrestlers in the ring, because I think they put on a really good match. But just the it needs more hype. And I think Bianca Belair as Raw Women's Champion as a whole, I think she's really disappointed because of that. Because there's no real hype. She's just doing the same thing. There's some wrestlers which are good at being the champion. Then there are other wrestlers who excel in the chase for the championship. So I think that's one of the reasons why Cody may have not won the title, because of that. Because he's always a guy like with the chase, always trying, you know. And it was the same with Bianca before she won that the SmackDown. No, she won the SmackDown Women's title, then she lost it to Becky Lynch, and just her chasing and trying to get that back. That was when she was, I think, at her best. And now that she's won the title, I'm not so sure. So I think maybe a bit of a shake-up is needed there.
Her whole gimmick is being the EST, being the best. So, but she's also really strong as well. I think she holds the championship well. Just her programs haven't been the interesting parts. Because she can wrestle, she can go.
Of course.
Her and Asuka, I was worried who was going to follow the Intercontinental three-way. Because whoever's going to follow it has an impossible task. They did well. They
did well.
They had a very good match, and they did not get overshadowed at all. I think once the three-way started, the show just kept on going. Because the first two matches were slow. First two matches were showcases, were attractions, but once the Intercontinental title started, the whole show picked up.
Yeah.
I think the crowd was more into this one than the Rhea Charlotte one.
You think so?
I heard the crowd more. It could be the audio mixing. It could be they mixed the audio better. It could be because I would be more invested in the other one as well, but I don't know.
Or maybe they were just dying for... I mean, they were already hyped up after the Gunther match. But yeah, it was... Listen, you need to give them their props.
Yeah,
very good technical match.
Of course.
So, you know, happy with the match, obviously.
Very happy.
Just disappointed with the storyline.
Asuka loses again. She's 0-5 in Wrestlemania now.
True. I was expecting Asuka to win. I was thinking maybe she would win, but just depends on what they have going down the line. Then there was Shane versus Miz, and bro, I was so gutted for Shane, bro. I was so happy for him to come back, and the pop that he got was insane, and you can see the energy in his eyes. You know, he just grabbed the mic. That was not planned. Him grabbing the mic and just going like, you know, I love to you guys. Thank you for that reception. Love back. You know. And like it was a bit that moment was a bit off, but it's like he was just so caught up in the moment. It's like you can't really blame him. And then he goes and gets injured doing a leapfrog, and like my heart sank at that moment for him. Honestly, like imagine making your return at WrestleMania in front of the entire world and screwing up a leapfrog, bro.
That's the worst part, because Shane's done so many worse things than that. He's been suplexed through real glass, through Riot Shield glass. He's jumped off Hell in a Cell and lived. Remember that spear at Survivor Series she took from Roman, where he legitimately got concussed or something from it? He took that and lived. He's had a really bad year. Didn't he get fired as well after the Rumble? Was it this year or the year before? Where he was in the Rumble?
The year before. Like he produced the Rumble,
and then he got
really bad.
He got sacked from it.
or I don't know if it
I
was
don't
more
remember.
than a year ago. It was a while now.
But that was Shane's last WWE appearance.
Mhm.
He got sacked from that. He comes back and then he gets injured. He has got terrible luck.
Yeah, and then with with the punch from Snoop.
Snoop.
At first, I was thinking like, "Whoa, this is some really good improvisation from Snoop." Like, whoa! And then I remembered like the Miz is in the ring.
Yeah.
So I think that whole like improvisation spot would probably have come from the Miz, which if so, like big props to the Miz, like or for whoever came up with the whoever fixed it basically.
The cameraman did.
Maybe it was a cameraman.
There's footage of the cameraman screaming at Snoop, "Punch Miz, punch Miz!"
Uh-huh.
He's going like that, "Punch Miz, punch." And Snoop like, okay, boom.
So there we go. Big ups to the cameraman or whoever told the cameraman from the back maybe to I mean they made it work, which was good. These guys are pros at the end of the day. And when you listen, this is from my own experience, like when you screw up during a wrestling match, it's really hard to like obviously like get everything back together in order and improvise, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very very difficult thing to do, and they really did it well, which is why they are where they are.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, they made it work. Don't know if I have any other other thoughts about the match. It was just basically a filler between the Raw Women's Championship match and the Hell in a Cell, which was a really cool match in my opinion.
Really cool. Shame about how it ended, because I think it ended a bit quick with Finn Balor being, you know, busted open from his head. 16 staples, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was they needed to protect him. Yeah. I just love the way that they protect these mythical creatures like the demon, the fiend, like what was it? The first punch from Edge, he no-sold it. Then it took him a few punches to start selling, and it was the same with the chair shot. So the first chair shot, he's no-selling it, and then it takes. As long as you're not doing this for like on like every show or for every match, it really works. And just Finn's facial expressions while being the demon, his demeanor as the demon is really I'm trying to find the right word for it, but he just really makes it larger than life. He is larger than life as the demon. Which then begs the question, why isn't he the demon on every show?
It's more like he can't win on every show, and the demon can't lose on every show. The demon losing occasionally is fine. I like to think of it as my own headcanon. I like to think of it that the demon's the worst part of him. So he'll only bring out the demon if he really hates you. He really hates Edge, so out comes the demon. He really hated Seth Rollins. He needed to become first Universal Champion. Out comes the demon.
And again, you protect him, you make him a special attraction, and when he does come, it's like, whoa. He really reminded me of the Boogeyman, man. From when I was a kid, and he was just one of my favorites as a kid. And just he really gets it, man. He really gets it. The product placement for the Exorcist movie during this match, or something about the Exorcist. There was what was his name? Russell Crowe.
I forget. I don't remember.
I think that's Russell Crowe. I'm gonna go with Russell Crowe, narrating in the beginning with that. That was really epic. And see, we were talking about the advertisements for the energy drinks and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and like for this match, they made product placement for a movie, which for Wrestlemania Hollywood makes perfect sense. Which begs the question: why didn't they do this for all the other product placements? Like, why didn't they make the product placements be movies? Like that. For this, it really worked because it's Wrestlemania Hollywood. So, I don't know why they. I mean, we know why, money, but I don't know if they like really They could have planned it a bit better, I think, for when it comes to like which products they were gonna promote. You know.
I think this WrestleMania had two really good product placements. This The Exorcist and Prime, and two really bad ones in the sponsorship right after Sammy Owens and the cereal and the other one, the energy drink.
The energy drink, yeah, TurboTax. Screw you, TurboTax.
They might sponsor this.
Huh?
They might sponsor this. Be nice to the Be nice.
No, I don't want you to sponsor TurboTax. I'd rather stay broke. Screw you guys. Seriously, like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn winning, and then the next thing that shows up is TurboTax. Like, screw you guys, man. Seriously, man. Yeah, just really cool match. Really innovative spots.
Yeah.
Which today in 2023, it's really hard to be innovative in pro wrestling because like everything has been done.
Yeah.
So I really like the spot when Edge. Put the kendo sticks and trapped the demon there, and the demon was like, yeah, you know, it was so cool.
Then he broke free.
And then he broke free just in time until Edge like got him again. So that was a really cool spot. The demon jumping onto the cell and getting onto that platform and hitting him, I think that was really cool. I think we all kind of expected that they would do something from the top of the cell or something like that.
They didn't.
And again, that's what happens when you do these insane spots. It's like everyone that will then expect them. And when they're not there, you're gonna kind of get disappointed.
Yeah.
So that's when you as a worker, as a wrestler, need to use your head and like always build up slowly. And it's like dopamine. So if you're like frying your dopamine receptors watching TikTok, then you just need to get that rush of dopamine. That same thing. If you take a bit of a break, for example, read a book or whatever, and then you're gonna watch a movie. Let's say a movie. Like if you're just scrolling TikTok, you're not gonna sit to a 3-hour movie. If you take a break from TikTok for a week and just read books, you're gonna love that 3-hour movie. And it's the same with wrestling, you know. If you're gonna do 450 splashes every week, you're gonna expect 450 splashes every week, and when you don't get them, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yep.
So you just need to be smart with it. Final thoughts on the Hell in a Cell?
I think touching on this, you said they didn't do high spots, but the match was still really, really good. I think it's a testament to how good both of them were at selling the match. Because they did nothing crazy. Nothing really crazy happened. I think anyone could have done the spots they did.
But not anyone would have come up with that.
No, not everyone would have come up with them. But they still did it, and the crowd still loved it. We enjoyed it. It was a very enjoyable match without the high spots. I think that's just a good word on them. I think it speaks highly on them. How they took little, because even the match had to be cut short because of Finn getting his head split open.
Could be, yeah.
And they still delivered a really good pre-main event match.
No, it was really good. I was very happy with it. I mean, when it comes to Edge and stipulation matches, like, bro, just that TLC at WrestleMania 17, it just still stands to this day as probably the best match, the best gimmick match, let's say, I have ever seen. Because they used the tables, the ladders, the chairs, but they used psychology as well. They made everything make sense, and that match just stands alone as like one of the all-time best matches ever, in my opinion. So, are you ready for the main event?
Yeah, the people online weren't ready for the main event.
So Roman versus Cody, I was so hyped for this match. And honestly, like a week before, I was thinking, like, okay, Cody has to win, right?
Yeah.
We're like thinking Cody has to win. So everyone is thinking Cody has to win. And the only thing that people like that would shock people more than Roman losing his 3-year title reign at WrestleMania would be Roman defending this title would be Roman going over. That's when I was starting to doubt everything, and I think that's what Paul Heyman. I think this was all Paul Heyman, man. He would be like you're always swerving the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They made everyone believe that this was Cody's time. They really built up, they mentioned Dusty. They mentioned how Roman was Dusty's favorite.
Yeah. He made it personal with Roman, his family.
And they were giving Cody so much crap that you would think, okay, he has to overcome this now.
Yeah.
And the way they incorporated also the Usos, and then Sammy with the haluva kick. It was really, really well done, I think. And then just Solo. I love Solo. I love Solo, bro. I'm such a big Solo mark. He would just come in with the spike like an assassin, bro. I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
I really love that guy. One thing I noticed at the start, they told a really good story with the pins, because so it started with Cody going for a pin in the beginning with less than a 1 count. It got less than a 1 count.
He hit him with a really nice drop kick as well, and also a 1 count.
I think this would have probably been. It may have been this one. It may have been this one. And Roman was just offended that like you're gonna try and pin the tribal chief with a drop kick, And then Roman, after that, he just started going for the pin after every random move. So first of all, you're like tiring out the opponent, and at the same time, it's the same thing. It's like you're gonna try and disrespect me by trying to pin me after a drop kick. I'm gonna try and pin you after every single move, And also one thing I noticed, like throughout the event, and more so for this match. So in WWE especially, they really emphasize covering both shoulders during the pin and making the pin look strong. However, when they're making the pin, when they're pinning in a way that you're not gonna win, so it's like they're gonna kick out. They cover only one shoulder, so like you have something to kick out with. But when you hit the finish and go for the pin, you're gonna cover both shoulders, because like there's no way to kick out. Or another way would be like if say Sheamus during the Sheamus Drew Gunter match, you hit the Claymore, you go for the pin, you actually get a good pin, and people are gonna think, okay, he's gonna kick out, and then the kick out you have to literally put more effort into kicking out like that and making the kick out look even more epic. So it's a very small detail which would be a bit which not everyone would notice at first hand, but I think it's subliminal there. But yeah, when it comes to anything Roman Reigns does, and if you are a student of the game, you're gonna learn so much, so much. Like they've really got this down to a T, like really, really good. Really, I was gonna say I'm disappointed with the finish, because I mean everyone wanted Cody to win, but at the same time it's like Roman's the tribal chief.
He is.
So it's really exciting to see what they're gonna do going forward. Now apparently they're gonna do a Brock versus Cody program.
Yeah.
So further prolonging the Cody title win. Who do you think should dethrone Roman Reigns?
At this point, I have no idea, because I thought Cody Rhodes is gonna come in. Cody Rhodes is gonna come in. He's the AEW guy. He's gonna send a message to everyone. You're gonna book the AEW guy to win the title he always wanted. That's gonna send a message to everyone, every company, everywhere. It made sense in my head. So like Miro and Andrade El Idolo, they're not happy at AEW. I don't know if FTR were unhappy at some point. You have Cody do well there. You can attract so much. You can bring so many talents back. Even if they're just there for a mid-card feud with someone, you still have that talent on your roster again. And Cody is like the flagship of, look, I came back. Look what they did for me. That's huge. Like what AEW used to be in the second year. The roles would have been reversed there. That's what I would have thought would have been logical, but then again, it's I get it with Roman Reigns being champion. Roman Reigns, they just signed that Endeavor deal. They're gonna have essentially their biggest star since Stone Cold, since John Cena.
Pretty much.
Representing them through the Endeavor deal. I think it came at a bad time for Cody, but if they persist with Cody, if they give him that Rocky moment, he got down, he's gonna get back up. Will it be too late? I have no idea. I think they should have struck first, because now Sammy's got no reaction. Sammy's barely getting a react. He's still over with the crowd, but it's not like when he broke free of the bloodline. When Sami Zayn broke free, he was a star. He was the man. So was Cody. When Cody returned at the Rumble, he was the guy.
So you're thinking Cody might lose his momentum now?
Yeah, he's going to feud with Brock now. Feuding with Brock's a 50-50, because he's either going to be there for you, work his ass off for you, cut promos for you, or he's going to be not even there. He's going to have Cody talk to the people, essentially.
No, it's not easy. Definitely not easy, but it's up to Cody himself.
Yeah.
It's up to how he's booked. At the end of the day, Cody just needs to really keep doing what he's doing, honestly, and maybe try to shake things up a little bit. In terms of Roman, who has to beat Roman, I would really love to see Jey Uso, because I again big fan of Jey Uso. I think either Jey or Cody. Sammy got his big moment with the tag titles, of course. Maybe The Rock at Wrestlemania, but he shouldn't be beating Roman. But they should try to get that for the next WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Roman versus Rock. Maybe he's still the champion. They don't really need the title for that match, to be honest. Like, I think SummerSlam would be a good moment for Roman to lose the title. Cody, I think, would be the perfect guy to lose it to. However, Roman versus Jey is another big... I think it can main event SummerSlam, honestly.
It can, but I don't see Jey Uso. I don't see Jey Uso's main event material.
I completely disagree.
I get that. I get that, because you're the Usos.
No, I'm not joking. Like, in my head, I'm trying to compare Roman and Jey to see which one is better, because I think Jey is legit on Roman's level. If not here, maybe something like here. But Jey is really good at what he does.
I think they should have Roman lose the title to, let's put a placeholder, let's put Cody in at SummerSlam. The Bloodline's disassembling. The Bloodline disassembles. Jey Uso, if the Rock's not available at WrestleMania 40, Jey Uso beats Roman. No title. No. I don't think putting the main event championships on one of the Usos is the smartest play when you have big solo stars already. Jey Uso is part of the Usos. The Usos are monumental tag team. Together they draw. They're huge. Have him beat Roman. You don't need the championship for him to beat, because it's a family thing. They have a family problem, not a championship. Cody wants the title. He has no personal issue with Roman. Jey has a personal issue with Roman Reigns. So beating him without the championship, it's even better, because his family's crumbled. His family's turned against him as well. So he's lost it. He didn't lose the title to Jey. He lost his family, which is what their story was built on.
No, that makes perfect sense, actually. So there's a lot to do with them. And again, the introduction of The Rock was also part of the family, of course. Maybe they could get Rikishi as well involved. But yeah, there's a lot to do there. My final thoughts about just this whole event, and just one thing that really came to mind, like while I was watching it, is wrestling in 2023 is so great.
True.
Because the new generation is learning from the generation that most people would say wrestling peaked in, like the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And the new generation is learning from that generation, and with also guys like Edge, Triple H, of course, backstage, guiding them through everything, creating the structure of the show. Like, they know what works. And they are teaching the new guys what works. And the new guys are all coming into their own now. And it's just AEW as well. Globally, wrestling, I don't think it has ever been this big.
No.
Japan, Mexico, all over Europe. Here in Malta, we've got our own Pro Wrestling Malta events, and we're always growing. We just had a sold out event, over 200 people in Monte Cristo, and it was a really, really barn burner of a show.
Amazing.
Like, people were really into it. And yes, I think it is a really good time to be a pro wrestling fan. If you're not into it, I really suggest giving it a try. If you're gonna watch one match to get you into wrestling, I'm not gonna tell you to watch my match, but how about Roman versus Cody? How about the tag team title match, Kevin Owens and Sami against the Usos? How about Dominic versus Ray? What was your favorite match of the entire event?
The Intercontinental Championship
Triple
match.
threat.
I did not sit down during it. I did not sit down. Michael Cole was into it. Michael Cole was so into that match. Everyone was into that match. I don't think there was anyone, even people from the cheap seats up in the rafters. No.
Cheap seats.
The cheapest seats from an expensive event. The cheapest seats from an expensive event. Everyone was into it. Everyone.
Yes, it was a really, really good match. For me, the most, emotionally, the one I was most emotionally invested was Dom versus Ray. I think it was just pro wrestling at its best. But there was a tag match, there was the main event, there was Roman and Cody. I think it's between Dom and Ray and the tag team match, honestly, and then the Usos and Kevin. Very hard to decide between both of them, honestly. If we're talking emotionally, the best, Dominic versus Ray. If we're talking about the best match, probably the tag title match for me. Gunther, Sheamus and Drew put in a very, very good performance as well. The card was just stacked. Any of these matches could have main evented any pay-per-view, honestly. So, very, very good show. Very, very disappointed with the Raw after Wrestlemania, which was really... Why you gotta do that, Vince? Just chill. He doesn't know how to chill. He just not capable of... when you've been doing something your entire life and literally day in, day out, 20... let's say 18 hours a day, because you will only sleep 4 or 5 hours anyway. And from that to doing nothing, you can't. You just physically can't. And you understand why Vince does that, but bro, get a hobby. Yeah. Honestly, man, get a freaking hobby. Let Triple H do his thing, and just ride off into the sunset, because you're ruining your legacy at this point, bro. But pro wrestling is honestly at the best that it has been in years, and let's hope this trend continues.
Exactly.
We're going to catch you guys very, very soon. There's going to be an AEW pay-per-view at the end of May.
May 20-something.
May
26th.
6th. Okay. We should be doing a review for that one.
Yeah.
We will catch you guys later. This has been Yaboy James. This has been Sean. This has been No Holds Barred. Let's go!